Hi everyone, welcome to this first set of drag and drop PMP practice questions. This set of questions is absolutely perfect for preparing for your PMP exam. You'll probably see on the real exam about between 2 and 10 drag and drop questions, but the real power of this practice is going through the definitions, the order and processes of project management processes, and scenarios and problem solving, and really getting up to speed and doing a nice review before your actual exam. These are taken from the PMBOK Guide 7th edition, the Process Groups Practice Guide, and the Agile Practice Guide, and I'll be making this download available in my course, which is currently the highest rated PMP course on Udemy, so do check that out if that's the sort of thing that you're after. Let's get into the first question. And the first one we're looking at is estimating. If the team uses something similar to estimate, like data from a similar project, it's similar and it's an analogy. So we're using analogous estimating with our team. If a builder uses a measurement to estimate, like $55 a meter or $100 an hour, they are using a parameter. So it's parametric estimating. And that can be extremely useful if we've got some data around that, like $55 a meter, for example. The team adds together the smallest pieces in the work breakdown structure. So they've got all of their work packages and they add all of those together to get the overall estimate. That is our bottom-up estimating. And if a team takes the average of the optimistic, most likely, and pessimistic estimates, that is an average of 3 points. So it's our 3-point estimating. Now let's quickly check those and see how we went. And there we go. In the PMBOK Guide 7th edition from 2021, page 178, under estimating, if you want to check that out for yourself. How did you guys go with that very first one? Let's get into the next one. Project tools. Okay, the team need to see their project activities visually on a calendar. That is our Gantt chart. That's where we're seeing our project activities on a nice bar chart. The business analyst needs to show how customer requirements meet their completed deliverables. That's our requirements traceability matrix. We're tracing the requirements through to their completed deliverables on a matrix. An agile team, all right, agile is a good keyword there, wants to show the planned trend of work versus the actual trend of work. That's going to be our burn down chart. And you've seen this before, I hope. You've got the planned trend of work and what actually happens. And that's our burn down chart. It's burning down all the way there. And the last one, a project manager wants to see the number of items completed every day. That's going to be the throughput of our items. So our throughput chart. Let's quickly check. There we go. Fantastic. How did you guys go with that one? PMBOK 7th edition under visual data and information on page 188 to 190. Fantastic stuff. All right, let's see what we've got next. Okay, a few calculations. Wow, this is going to be fun. Oh, and here's a few tricks that I can tell you. We've got the schedule performance index and the cost performance index. So if you've got an index, we use divide, and if we've got the variance, we use minus. So this is actually very easy. And here's another trick. If it's the cost index or the cost variance, we always use the actual cost in our calculation. So this should be quite easy. Earned value divided by actual cost, divided by, it's an index, and actual cost, it's the cost performance index. Earned value divided by planned value, divided by, it's an index, and planned value, it's the schedule. So that's perfect. Now, actual cost variance, here we go. And if we minus the planned value, it's going to be our schedule variance. That's a wonderful way to know those that variance analysis and those calculations. There we are, that went well. And that's in a Process Groups Practice Guide under page 311, Earned Value Calculations Summary Table, if you want to check that out for yourself. Pretty cool. All right, Earned Value Management. Oh, more Earned Value Management. But this looks like some scenarios. So the project sponsor approves the total planned budget. Total planned budget is our BAC, or budget at completion. The project manager needs to see how much work should have been completed, how much we had planned to have been completed at this point in time. The team shows how much has actually been completed, how much we have earned what we have earned through our hard work being project managers and with our project team. And that leaves our last one. The project sponsor needs to know what we have actually spent. That's a wonderful tip there. That is our actual cost. Let's have a quick check and see if we got those right. We did. How did you go? Pretty straightforward, but again, these are the things that we really need to know, and these definitions are going to be very handy for our exam. From the Process Groups Practice Guide, Earned Value Analysis. Wonderful stuff. All right, let's go to the next one. And a typical sprint in Agile. Wow, this is good. Okay, what's the order of a typical sprint? This is very handy to know, and the first thing we start is we plan our sprint. And once we've planned our sprint and we kick off our sprint, I think it looks like daily stand-ups are going to be next. We have our daily stand-up, remove blockers, report on what we've completed and what we're going to complete the next day or during the day. And then during the sprint, we also do backlog refinement. So we prepare more user stories for our upcoming sprint so that we don't have no work to do coming up. Now, these two, we always end the sprint with a retrospective, guys, so very important to know. And that leaves the sprint review second to last, where we showcase the work to our project customer and they say, hey, that is exactly what I was looking for. Or no, it's not what I was thinking, because now they can actually see it. And here we go. That works perfectly. You did an amazing job. Agile Practice Guide under Common Agile Practices. Perfect stuff. All right, halfway through this little session here. And the next one is Agile Ceremonies. Oh, so what do we actually do? And we've already had some clues. So a team update, user stories with acceptance criteria. That sounds like our backlog refinement, where we're updating those user stories. We're refining the backlog, making sure user stories are ready. The team reflect on their process and their lessons learned. That's our retrospective. So we're improving our process for the next iteration or the next sprint, always trying to get better. The team agree on user stories to complete in the sprint. That's our sprint planning. And I hope you are beating me to these as we're going along. I think you can do it. The last two, the team demonstrate that usable increment. That's nice and easy. That's our sprint review. That means the team updating on what they worked yesterday, what they will do today, and raising any blockers. That's going to be our daily stand-up. Let's have a quick check of that. And it's come from the Agile Practice Guide, Common Agile Practices on page 50 if you want to check that out. Wonderful stuff. That's our typical sprint. Really getting through these ones, so doing a great job. Okay, position descriptions. Who does what in a project team? And we've got a few different ones here. Emily prioritizes the product backlog. Who does that? Can you tell me? That is the product owner. Absolutely. They look at customer value and they prioritize all of those items, so we're delivering the highest value first, ideally. Liam approves the project funding and resources based on the project charter. That's going to be our project sponsor. So they usually hold the resources and funding, and once we get that approved, we have access to that resources and funding as the project manager. Let's do that project manager next. Is it the servant leader, or is it who's in charge of project planning and monitoring? I think it is that one. Scrum Master is our servant leader who removes blockers for the project team. Let's have a quick check of this. And that has come through. Excellent work. Process Groups, a practice guide under definitions. And we've got some sponsor, Scrum Master, project manager definitions in there, which is really, really great. All right, let's check out the next one. Process Group, inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs, or ETOs, as they call them. Determining the budget. Okay. Oh, and these look like all cost management things. Okay. Oh, this is actually quite tricky. Estimate costs. Well, we know that we're going to need the basis of our estimates in estimating costs. And planning cost management, that's where we create our cost management plan, our process for how we're going to work with cost. Now, determining the budget, when we have our budget, we have our cost baseline. Exactly it. That leaves controlling our cost. We're going to need some cost forecasts to control our cost. Let's have a quick check. And there it is under the Process Groups, Plan Cost Management on page 99 there. So nice and easy. Last two in this little section. And we've got programs and portfolios. If James is hired for a temporary endeavor to deliver a change or business value, what does that describe? That is our project, delivering business value, and it's only temporary, remember? It's not ongoing, it's not operations. That's the difference. And Alex has a range of related projects managed as a group together. That one is our program of related projects. And so if Rachel owns a collection of project groups and operational work as well to achieve an overall strategic objective, that's going to be our portfolio. It covers everything, projects, programs, plus a little bit of operational work, all together to help achieve that strategic objective. Let's quickly check, and there it is. Process Groups, a Practice Guide, page 9, the relationship among portfolio programs and projects. Very handy to know. And also very handy to know, the last one in this little section, nice and easy, the types of project management officers, or PMOs. This PMO provides a consultative role to projects and supplies templates and best practices. That one is the weakest PMO. It's a supportive PMO. The PMO requires compliance through adoption of methods or frameworks. Okay. Now these two are quite tricky because I remember the top one is directing. It's a directive PMO. So they're the ones who assign project managers directly, and that comes from the PMO and it reports to the PMO. That's directive. And controlling, they control through methods or frameworks. So that's how we're going to put that one. Let's do a brief check of that, and it's come through. I hope that has been fantastic for you as well. Page 48 on the Process Groups Practice Guide, types of PMOs. And this is just the first 10. I hope you've had a wonderful time. I truly believe that by practicing this every day, you can pass your PMP exam. And these are the definitions and information and scenarios that you truly need to know in your project management career, as well as to help you pass the exam and gain your PMP. I know you can do it. I definitely believe in you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.